Welcome everybody to the Social Good Hour pre-show. We're going to get started here with the show in just about 2 minutes. Here we go. I'm getting all my notifications here on my phone, as I hope you are as well. Getting a little reverb here. That's good. It tells me that it's working. Thanks everybody for joining on today's show, which is going to get started here, as you can see, in 1 minute and 40 seconds. I've got a great show lined up for you today. No guest today, so a little different than what you might be used to on the Social Good Hour, but we are going to walk you through 12 steps about how your nonprofit should use live streaming video during a giving day. Now, in the meantime, before we get started, and if you want to cut right to that content, you might want to fast forward about 5 minutes. But we're going to start our show like we do every week with Tell Me Something Good.
Tell me something good.
So you got 60 seconds to tell me something good in the comments. Tell me something good that's going on in your world. And I can use Restream to put your comments on the stream like you're seeing here. I can showcase comments from all different platforms. As I'm sure you've heard by now, Restream allows you to live stream to more than 30 different social media platforms at one time. So the Social Good Hour each week, every Monday, 4 p.m. is live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, not Periscope anymore, and Twitch. You can also follow me on my different social media channels, get some behind the scenes looks at the show, at Chris Strub on Instagram and Twitter. And of course, if you're interested in learning about the stuff that I use to create the show, go to strubstuff.com. Neil says it's been 3 months, but he finally made it back. Monday afternoons are just tough. Something good. He's watching the show, which is about to start here in about 5 seconds. Here we go. Welcome everybody to episode 11 of the Social Good Hour with Chris Strub. I'm your host, Chris Strub, here in the Fly the W studio here in Greenville, South Carolina. It's a beautiful day here in Greenville, and the W is flying for real. Baseball season kicked off the other day, and this is a great show because the Cubs did win yesterday, so we can legitimately fly the W. If this is your first time watching, again, my name is Chris Strub. I work with giving days around the United States to help them create live streamed videos to help them raise money, raise awareness, and really drive great results. And on today's show, I'm going to be talking to you about 12 different steps to using live streaming video to succeed during your giving day. So there are tens of thousands of nonprofits around the U.S. that participate in giving days every year. Of course, Giving Tuesday is the biggest single giving day of the year. And actually, last week, if you missed last week's show, oh, do I not have the graphic here? Let's see. I need to have the graphic here. Thought I'd be ready. Last week's show, episode 10. See how easy it is to pull it up on Restream. If you missed episode 10 with Kat Murphy-Toms, you can check out the replay of last week's show. Really awesome to hear about the background and digital strategy for Giving Tuesday itself. We do start every show with Tell Me Something Good. I like to acknowledge our live audience. So again, if you do want to check out the show live every Monday, you can join in. You can have your comments put up on the screen. You can also have your questions answered. My buddy Neil says he's back after missing the last 10 episodes. No worries, buddy. Monday afternoons are just tough. They are tough. So as we look forward, we may be considering a different time slot for the show. He says something good is that he's watching the show. Something good in my world. My dad is here in Greenville. I told him I needed to do the show. So he's going to be back here in about an hour when the show is over. We'll make some dinner and stuff. So it's great to spend Easter weekend with my family. Hope you had a chance to do the same thing as well. Before we get going, I do want to acknowledge our sponsor, Restream. Restream is the platform that I'm using to create the show over the last 10 weeks and today. Restream allows you, as I mentioned, to stream to 30 plus different platforms at one time. And I've got a quick message from Restream before we dive right into the content. There you have it, restream.teamstrub.com. That's the URL there. I'll put it back up on the screen here real quick. It's restream.teamstrub.com to get your free trial of Restream. I will tell you, it makes an enormous difference and definitely helps me if you go to restream.teamstrub.com and sign up for your free trial. Other ways that you can support the show: you can hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You can hit the like button, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. You could turn that bell on to get notified every time we go live. You can retweet the tweet that I just sent out on Twitter. In fact, I'm going to retweet it right now. Ooh, Jets traded Sam Darnold. You never know what you're going to see in the real-time aspect of the show, but Sam Darnold is no longer a New York Jet. Sure, I'll be talking about that with my dad here in a few minutes. So if you go to twitter.com/Chris Strub, you'll see that tweet. You can hit retweet. That is a big help for me. You can tag at RestreamIO on Twitter. Let them know that you're a fan of the Social Good Hour. You can add me on LinkedIn as a connection, and you can watch the show over there. So shout out if you're watching on LinkedIn. And you can share to your Instagram story. In fact, let's get that out of the way. We do a little freeze frame solo edition. So if you want to take a screenshot and share the show out to your social media channels, here you go. Let's take a little screenshot here, and we'll go give you a little bicep curl, little flex on you on a Monday afternoon. Feeling good? There you go. There's your freeze frame, episode 11, April 5th, 2021. Let's dive into the content. So here we go. Today's main event: what your nonprofit should live stream on a giving day. See, live streaming is becoming more and more popular during giving days around the United States. Of course, if you're watching this show, you're probably familiar with the concept of a giving day, as I mentioned. If you're not, you can go back and check out last week's episode with Kat Murphy-Toms. I've also interviewed two other outstanding giving day professionals over the course of the last 10 weeks here. So if you wanted to go back and check out episode 4 with Neosha Franklin from Give STL Day in St. Louis, and episode 6 with Molly Melia from the Community Foundation of Louisville, and I've got my CF Louisville hat on. Both great shows to check out. Wait, you flexed, Scott says, but I just saw a black hole. See, I should flex on you again, buddy. There you go. Chris Bryant says, I'm here. The party can start. Awesome. So today's main event, again, you're going to want to take some notes here. We're throwing it back to the style we kind of used for the first episode of the show. What your nonprofit should live stream on a giving day. We're going to have 12 slides to show you here, so no time to delay. Let's get right into it. Step 1, don't be shy. Plan on several live streams during the day. So your giving day is likely, most giving days are going to be a 24-hour period. Of course, that varies. Some giving days are 2 days. Some giving days are a week. Some giving days have early giving. Some giving days close late. But generally speaking, your giving day is going to be a day, right? It's going to be 24 hours. And in the course of that 24-hour period, you're going to have different people who are able to watch at different times, right? Like Neil says, Monday afternoons are tough. Okay, but maybe if the show is in the morning, he'd be more likely to watch. Or maybe if the show is at 9 p.m., he'd be more likely to watch. Maybe he's like my friend Biz Paul, who's over in the United Kingdom. This is a tougher time of day for him to watch because it's nighttime over there. So think about your audience and think about how you can serve the audience by creating content at different times during the day. You're going to want to live stream probably at least 4 or 5 times during your giving day. And we'll talk about the different ideas, the different strategies that you can take with those live streams as that giving day is going on. But don't try and put all your eggs in one basket. On your giving day, don't create just one live stream. I really want you to think about how you can stretch out that content and really create a number of different live streams during the giving day. I always tell my giving day clients that the big day is like the Super Bowl, right? So could you imagine if there was just one little quick video during the Super Bowl? No. We want to try and get as much attention as we can during that giving day. And so we want to encourage you to live stream multiple times during the day. Neil says, yeah, it's like the strategy for tweeting, right? Don't tweet the same time every day. Your audience is paying attention at different times, right? So think about the fact that you're not, as I mentioned, you're not going to be able to attract everybody's attention all at one time. Even here with the show, right? 4 p.m. Monday, it's Chris Strub time, but everybody can't watch at the specific time. So think about how you can accommodate people at different times during the day. And the idea, again, is going to be, and we'll get into this a little bit more, that not everybody is going to be able to catch every stream that you're doing. Hopefully they'll be able to catch one of them. And if they're really into it, then they'll be able to go watch some of the other streams that you're doing throughout the rest of the day. And Neil says, how long should each live stream be? Let me get to that in a minute as we move on to the next slide here, but I promise I will answer that question here momentarily. Now, I want you to align your live streams with the prize schedule of the day, right? So I want you to think about the prize schedule. Now, for every giving day, the prize schedule is going to be different. And it doesn't necessarily, not every giving day necessarily has prizes that are even aligned with specific times, but many of them do. So I'm going to share with you here a screen from Raise the Region in Pennsylvania. So there's the screen there. This is their prize page. And if you're not terribly familiar with a giving day, you can see Raise the Region, easy for me to say. Raise the Region was a few weeks ago, March 11th. And for example, this first prize here, the UPMC's 100 Reasons to Give prize, March 11th from 8 p.m. to midnight. Every gift of $100 or more given to a nonprofit will be entered to win a random drawing to award the recipient nonprofit an additional $1,000. So if your goal as a nonprofit is to try and win that prize, then you're going to want to focus your live stream strategy during that specific time period, right? As I scroll down and I show you some of these other time periods as well, right? Subaru's Most Votes Prize from 5 to 7 p.m. The community is invited to drive their vehicle through the service welcome bays. So 5 to 7 p.m., you'd want to approach your live streaming strategy to that specific time. What you don't want to do during a giving day as a nonprofit is try and win every single prize, because you're going to stretch yourself and your donors too thin. So there's definitely a gamification element. There's a strategic element to the giving day. Pick a few different prizes, or even just pick one big prize. Make it your goal to go after it, and then build your live streaming strategy around trying to draw attention to that hour or during that hour, right? You can check this out at raisetheregion.org/prizes if you wanted to see the tab, right? But here's another one. Weiss Market's Fast Start Prize is the nonprofit with the most money between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. on March 10th. So again, if you're going to try and win that prize, you've got to schedule your live streams in a way that's going to draw attention to your page and drive donations during that specific time period. So make sure you're looking at the prize page while you're building out your stream schedule, and try and have some fun with that. Step 3. I want you to identify a series of episodic stories to tell. And if you've heard me speak before, you've heard this refrain, identifying a specific thread of stories to tell. Now, on a giving day itself, again, we're only talking today about the specific, that boom, let's call it a 24-hour period, whether it's midnight to midnight. Raise the Region is actually 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. But whatever that time period is, we're going to try and cram in as many of those stories as we can into that 24-hour period. We want to identify that thread, and instead of stretching it out and doing that matrix sort of example where I've talked to you about starting 3 months out and doing 1 live stream a week or 2 live streams a week, it's too late now. If you're participating in Arizona Gives Day tomorrow, April 6th, you can take and apply the same exact strategy. It's not too late. But I need you to think about a series of episodic stories that you can tell. And I want you to commit to telling those stories on a repeated basis throughout the course of the day. Right? So let's say you have 8 different stories you want to tell. I want you to look at how you can maybe go live at 7 a.m., 9 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m., right? And literally take your 8 story ideas, your stream ideas, and we're going to jam pack the day, right? This is the whole idea behind Chris Strub, the Giving Day Guy, is we want to overwhelm the audience. We want to splash. We want to douse the audience in content during the Giving Day with the idea, remember, that not everyone is going to watch everything that you're doing. In fact, probably no one will watch everything that you're doing. But by casting a wider net, you're going to be able to get your message out to more people. You're also giving off this impression that there's all sorts of activity going on at your nonprofit, that there's so many different stories and so many different things that people need to support that they want to get involved, right? So you're going to plan several live streams and you're going to identify a series of episodic stories to tell. Now, here's the meat of the stream. And here's the question that everybody always asks, right? So this is step 3, but we're actually going to go in between step 3 here. What sort of story should I be telling? What should I be talking about on these videos, Chris? What am I doing? Well, you're in luck, because that's what we're going to talk about here. Here are some examples of episodic stories that you can tell based on the nature of your nonprofit. Maybe you have 8 staff members on your team and you want to chat with each one of those staff members and talk to them about what it is that they do. Maybe you've got a base set of volunteers that you want to speak with. You can line up and have conversations with your different volunteers and ask them about their experience working with your nonprofit throughout the course of the year. Your program beneficiaries. So thinking about the people who are benefiting from your nonprofit throughout the course of the year. Maybe your nonprofit serves different locations. Can you bring your video stream setup to different locations around your community and show off those different places throughout the course of the day? So maybe you deliver food to different areas, or you have different outposts of your organization in different parts of the community, or there's different, even if there's just different parts of the community where you have put on different events. Show us different places, show us a variety of different locations around the community using the power of mobile live video, and provide that episodic variety throughout the course of the day. Or maybe it's different products that you create, right? I've interviewed people during Giving Days who have been sewing masks, stuff like that, or whatever your nonprofit is building or creating or making. You can show off each of those different examples, but rather than just lining them all up on the table and just doing it all in one shot, I want you to go deeper, and I want you to take an item and I want you to spend 3 to 5 minutes just telling me the backstory of that item. And to answer Neil's question from before, I don't know why I just need a drink of water here for a second. How long should each live stream be? It should be as long as it needs to be, but not any longer. So I want you to think about the content and think about the story that you want to tell it, and then get out and plan on going into the next stream, right? The fun part about the work that I do as the Giving Day Guy is that there are infinity stories to tell, right? There's literally so many nonprofits participating in each Giving Day that we could stream a solid 24 hours and have different stories to tell all the way through. For your nonprofit, you may not be able to squeeze that much in, but I promise you there's still plenty of content that you can get out of these different types of stories. And that's not all, right? You say, Chris, these are interesting ideas, but I've heard you mention these before. Well, I'm going to throw 5 more at you. I want you to think about who in your community is influential. Maybe it's your board members. Maybe it's government members, government officials. Or members of the sports team, people in your community want to hear from. You could bring on those people and speak to them about why they support your nonprofit during a Giving Day. I love this, a series of major data points. So every nonprofit, at least in theory, should have major data points that you're delivering on year over year, quarter after quarter. I want you to dive deeper into each of those data points and turn it into a series of live streams that you can create on your giving day. Talk to me about why these numbers are the way that they are. Maybe because of the coronavirus pandemic, certain things have gone down. We've lost, 60% of our income, or we've lost 40% of our volunteers. And this is what that looks like. Take an individual data point and dive in and use live streaming video to tell me the story behind that particular data point. Look to other nonprofits in the community, right? You may not want to chat with a competitor, so to speak, or someone who's providing the exact same service, but you could actually take advantage of your live streaming video prowess and speak to other nonprofits during the giving day. Kat Murphy-Toms will tell you that's a phenomenal idea. The one thing that she always mentions talking about Giving Tuesday, and the best thing that she sees on Giving Tuesday is when nonprofits support other nonprofits. So why not bring on other nonprofits from your community and speak to them about how their giving day is going? I love also thinking about other chapters of your nonprofit. And that's a little harder if you're just an individual, like a localized nonprofit, or you're sort of an individual who's just doing his or her own thing. However, if you work for a national organization like Big Brothers Big Sisters, or the Red Cross, or the Salvation Army, look, today is your day, right? If you're the Salvation Army in Phoenix and tomorrow is Arizona Gives Day, why not call up some of the other chapters of the Salvation Army around the Southwest, or even around the rest of the country, and chat with them, chat with their social media manager, chat with their executive director about what they're doing, and talk to them about how things are going in Arizona, right? Right there, you could have 10 different people with, different backgrounds, beaming in and supporting, and maybe they're going to donate $50 each, whatever it might be. But if you're looking for that episodic approach, if you're looking for that series of episodic stories to tell, lean on those people that you may be able to connect with from around your organization. You can also look at milestone years in your organization's history, right? So maybe you were founded in 1982 and you moved to a new location in 1994. And in 2001, you guys tripled in size and all that stuff. Take each one of those years and throw it back. Bring on the former board chair, bring in the, your former executive director, bring in someone who has really deep experience in those prior years and in those big moments in your nonprofit's history, and bring them back in and talk to them about what happened during those times. Right? This all ties back to the idea that we are all famous to a few people. And while not everyone out there may be interested in all of these different types of stories, you don't want to think about everyone. You really want to play to those people, first of all, who have donated to you in the past and who are looking for a reason to continue to support you, but also people who may have a tangential interest in your organization and in your mission. You can bring them in using these different ideas and really hook them into your story and get them to donate and support, not just on your giving day, but year round. So again, I want you to really identify a series of episodic stories to tell. It doesn't have to be one of the ideas that I just mentioned, but make sure you commit to telling 5 or 6 of those stories consecutively throughout the course of the day. All right, quick sip of water, and on we go. That is the wrong thing to push. Step 5, or tip number 5, or 4. I want you to solicit pre-recorded videos from your donors and or your sponsors. So even though we talk about doing all of this content live, that doesn't mean that everything that you're doing needs to be live in the moment. Using the power of Restream, you can play pre-recorded videos during your live stream, right? I mean, we've seen it here in the last few minutes, and you've seen it repeatedly over the course of the Social Good Hour. We played this clip last week from Giving Tuesday. I'll just play it again here real quick. We'll cut it off.
And I'm happy to announce that we have Central Kansas in the building. We have Becky. Becky, give us a quick check-in on Giving Tuesday out in Central Kansas. I told you we'd get you back on.
Hey, Mario. I'm in Peabody, Kansas, and we usually have this big event at the school, but then COVID happened. So we started this little truck thing, and just last night we rolled by the school with some grant checks for the teachers, because everybody knows teachers dip into their pockets a lot.
Yes.
And here this afternoon, we're headed to the food bank with lots of donations.
Having pre-recorded video set up to play during your live stream not only helps you add additional content, but it also helps you break up the monotony of just continuing to speak to the camera for an hour, right? Like you saw there. Seeing Mario on Giving Tuesday 2020 and hearing from Becky in Central Kansas. I try and use these pre-recorded videos to provide some variety to the melody of the live stream that I put together each week, right? And you can see here using Restream that, it's very simple to click these buttons and to play these pre-recorded videos. In fact, if you go to restream.teamstrub.com, you can get your free trial to get started right away. It's restream.teamstrub.com. You can see the URL right there below me on the screen there. That's where you can go to get your free trial of Restream, get started, and then you can play around with all the different features, including multi-streaming to different channels, which we'll talk about here in a minute as well. But from a pre-recorded video standpoint, you can also think about it from a sponsor perspective. And this we do all the time during the Giving Day programs and strategy that I put together for all the different giving days I work with, right? When you're live on the air, that's valuable time. Right? So when you offer a sponsor or a donor an opportunity to be seen on your live stream, that's a valuable opportunity. So embrace that value. And yes, you can get a 30 to 60 second clip from a sponsor and say, hey, if you want to be our nonprofit's live stream sponsor during Arizona Gives Day, send us, your 60-second video, or send us 3 different 60-second videos. And for $500, we'll play your video during each of our 6 live streams during the day. Why not? Right? And now multiply that out. You could have multiple sponsors. You could have someone sponsor each hour. So just think about the fact that when you press that go live button here on Restream or on whichever platform you're using, you're creating a valuable opportunity for people to be seen and heard. And that includes potential sponsors. Step 5, I want you to plan interesting visuals, both in real life and or virtually. Right? So one big mistake that I see with live streams all the time is that they're plain. No offense, they can be kind of boring, right? If you're just sitting in your office with your white walls, give me something fun. Give me something interesting, right? You guys see on the wall behind me here, I always have the $1,000 golden ticket. I've got the Fly the W studio here behind me that I can interact with kind of live, and I can take items on and off the screen. I've got the Social Good Hour LED lights going on and the flashing light over here. I've got the ambient lights that are changing colors softly behind me now. We've got different hats that I wear each week. I've got the Give for Good Louisville hat on and the Big Give hat on. I always show copies of my book, 50 States, 100 Days, the book, which, quick plug, you can get, of course, at 50states100days.com. Should have had the caption ready to go, but it's here somewhere. There you go. States 100 Days, the book. You can get it at 50states100days.com. Right? So think about how you can use these sort of visual elements. Think about how you can use these sort of visual elements to make your streams more interesting and engaging and exciting to the live audience and to the replay audience, right? Think about what you can do both with real life implements, like a golden ticket, or even a party popper. Here you go. You're getting a mid-show today. Right? There's so many different things that you can do with real life implements to show off what you're doing in real life. And of course, you can use your platform like Restream to create appealing visual elements on the screen, right? Like you've seen over and over again, how I'm using Restream to put up overlays on the screen, things like this. Think about how you can create an interesting visual experience for your audience using a platform like Restream and being able to just press the buttons there. Yes, the popper worked, Chris. The popper worked for once. And we'll talk more about the poppers here at the end of the show, so stick around. So think about how you can use Restream to show off visually and make your stream stand out in a way that others might not. Like this. Easy enough, right? Okay, I'm losing track of the count here. Step 6. Step 6, make sure you pick the right platforms. Make sure you pick the right platforms. So again, using Restream, you are able to select multiple different platforms that you can stream to. My suggestion always is, for nonprofits is to start with Facebook. Essentially, every nonprofit in the world has a Facebook page. Facebook is far and away the largest social media network around the world. Facebook is a pretty open and shut case for me in terms of why you should be live streaming to Facebook. But if you wanted to multi-stream, you can do so very easily using a platform like Restream. If you want, for example, when people search for AZ Gives Day on Google, you might want to have your live stream with that hashtag AZ Gives Day on YouTube, because Google, of course, owns YouTube, and you can get your live stream to show up at the top of when someone is doing a Google search for the giving day. So whether it's Arizona or whatever giving day you're working with or you're a part of, if you live stream simultaneously to YouTube, you can also stream to YouTube using Restream and simultaneously stream to, again, 30 different platforms all at once. Yes, and Marissa says, a visually engaging stream is so important. I dislike when it's just talking heads and bored faces. Exactly. Again, the other thing that you can do, to go back to that previous tip, is use a platform like Restream to put people's comments on the screen in real time. And now Marissa knows not only that I know that Marissa is here, but I'm acknowledging her presence and saying, thank you, Marissa, I appreciate it. It adds a lot to the stream to be able to bring people's comments on the stream in real time. And it makes a big difference. A little goes a long way when you're thinking about production value on a live stream. But picking the right platforms is important as well, to make sure that you're streaming in the right place. You can also stream to your LinkedIn page. Again, in San Antonio last year, I gave a presentation. We had another presenter who spoke exclusively just about the power and the value of LinkedIn. And remember this too, as we talk about the value of streaming to these different platforms. Streaming for the first time or even the second time on a platform where people aren't used to seeing you can be a very, very intriguing value proposition for that audience, right? Especially if you kind of know what you're doing and you're going to dip into LinkedIn or Twitch or somewhere else for the first time. When they get that notification that someone is live that they're not expecting, I know I, as a viewer, like watching people stream for the first time, especially when it's during a giving day, when I know that they really are looking for and they're in need of that attention. So you may say, Chris, I've never streamed on LinkedIn before. But that can be a benefit, especially on a giving day. It's a great time to get started with live streaming on a new platform, because that surprise notification, so to speak, can really bring people in who you may not expect. And it can be a great opportunity to really build your audience in a new way. So Got another question here from Alex. Alex says, hi, Chris. Sorry, I joined late. When using live stream, how many participants can you have join you for a live broadcast? That's a great question. So when you're using Restream, you can have up to 9 guests join you simultaneously. I have never pushed that limit. I've never had that many people actually join in at the same time, but you can have a whole lot of different live guests join in simultaneously, and you can use the different views on Restream. So I don't have other guests in here at the moment, but if I turn this screen on, you could see that my the other guests would kind of show up below, or if I wanted to do a split screen, it would look something like that. And the more people you add in,
This community is
the more it's
incredibly
going
generous.
to kind of look like that. You can also turn the chat button on and off. You can turn off this chat overlay using Restream. So if you wanted to go full screen, which I'll do here for a moment, you can do that. And now you can see that I am full screen. My little social good hour overlay. So again, if you want to get started with Restream, you can go to restream.teamstrub.com and get started. And that is a great way to do it. Restream.teamstrub.com. In fact, I'm going to put it in the chat real quick so that you can click right on it. There you go. So if you're watching on replay or live, you can click on that comment right now on whichever platform you are watching from. Alex says, cool, thanks. You're welcome. All right, let's bring the chat overlay back on. Where am I here? Okay. And keep those comments coming if you have more questions. I am here to answer them for you in real time. As you just saw, Alex had his question answered during the live show. So I appreciate you, Alex, for being here live on LinkedIn. I just screwed up and accidentally deleted one of my tip slides here. So we're gonna have a little fun here figuring out which one I'm missing. Step 7 is to use social media, email, and other avenues to promote your live stream schedule. So as we talked about, when you're building out that schedule that your nonprofit should check out, don't be shy. Plan on doing several live streams, but also use all of your different social media channels, your email, and other avenues. If you got a community bulletin board or carrier pigeons, whatever you got, you're going to want to use every last avenue possible to promote your live stream schedule. Heck, I would love to see a live stream schedule in your in a mailing, right? Put it in a letter that you're going to send to people, right? If you plan it out a month in advance, you got time to print that out and get that on people's coffee tables. That would be a great opportunity. I've loved, and here's an example slide from one of the presentations that I've given over the years. You can see here that during Give STL Day and Give Local York, these are some examples of how nonprofits have used Instagram to share their live stream schedules during the day. Of course, you could also put that in your Instagram stories. You could tweet out these images on Twitter as well. You could, of course, post them on LinkedIn. So whichever channels you're using to keep your social media momentum going, lean on those and don't be shy to use your other channels to go ahead and support what you're doing on a live stream. And I appreciate it very much. Chris Bryant, big fan of the show. Restream is actually really easy to use. Love it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. Really appreciate the kind words there. Let's keep going to make sure that we get through all of this. So that was step 7, and I got to find step 8. Oh no, I just deleted another one. Hold on one second. We are missing step 8. I'm going to play a quick little video here so that I'm not searching while we are going here, but stay tuned. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. The Social Good Hour with Chris Strub features uplifting, inspiring, inspirational individuals from around the world using social media to make the world a better place. And Chris is looking for new guests for the rest of season 1. Visit the URL on the screen, guest.teamstrub.com, and fill out the form for yourself, for a coworker, for a colleague, or any individual you think would make a great guest for this season of the Social Good Hour with Chris Strub. Beautiful. Well, that worked nicely. That's another good reason to have some pre-recorded videos in the can, is when you need a second to find something, you can go find it and play a pre-recorded video in real time. Step 8, invite the media. Now, oftentimes during a giving day, nonprofits always just dream of being on TV, right? It's all about how do we get even just a few seconds of TV exposure. Well, I tell you what, if you're building out an awesome live stream strategy, you're going to be head and shoulders ahead of what most of the other nonprofits are doing. And so what I want you to do is create a press release and send it to the media what your live streaming schedule is, and let them know that they can tune in. They can help promote it during their shows. We do this all the time from the Community Foundation perspective. And I think it's a great, ripe opportunity for nonprofits themselves to say, here's our live streaming schedule. If you can tune in, they might share a few seconds of one of your videos. They might call you and ask to do a story on the live streaming strategy that you're putting together. They may be like, whoa, can we be part of your live streaming strategy? I think there's so much opportunity there for nonprofits to directly get the media involved and bring people and invite people to invite the media to cover your live streams, right? So when you're making something special, and I talked about this being a valuable opportunity for everyone who's going to appear on your live streams, make it feel that way and invite the media in to be part of that as well, right? Make it seem like what you're creating is a big deal, because it is. And send out a press release and let the news people know this is what we're doing. This is when you can tune in. And if you want to use some of our video, you have our permission to do so. Just let us know how we can accommodate and send that over to you. Where's my microphone? I want to drop it. That's why I needed to go back and find step 8. I knew that was a good one. Step 9. Remember to ignore the 90-9-1 rule. So if you've heard me present before to nonprofits, you know what I'm talking about with this. The 90-9-1 rule is this. And thank you, Marissa. I appreciate you. Thank you. Strategy tip is worth thousands. That's right. I'm going to put it up on the screen one more time. Invite the media. Do it. If you're creating a big time live streaming schedule during your giving day, it is newsworthy. I invite you to take advantage of this and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen? They say no. Let's get on. We still got a few more to go. The 99-1 rule is that 90% of people who are watching any sort of content, this isn't giving day content, this isn't nonprofit content, this is any content on the internet, 90% of people will not comment. They will not say anything. They won't like it. They won't share it. They won't do anything. The 9% are those who might comment here and there. And then the 1% are actually the creators, like Marissa and like Chris Bryant and like you. A tap on my lens, but then I'd have to wash it, watching this live stream, right? So be part of that 1%. But I also want you to ignore the 90-9-1 rule, because from a nonprofit perspective, it's even harder to get live engagement and interaction. It's oftentimes impossible, especially depending on the nature of your mission, right? If you're a drug addiction rehab center and you're creating live stream video, your goal should not be to try and drive live engagement to that video. It's just, it doesn't align. And if you go back, if you want to watch Owen Video's show from 3 to 4 p.m. Eastern today, great fellow Restream creator. He's got Luria Petrucci on. They're talking about building an online community, and that's great. Go for it. Right. And I am super appreciative to the Marissa Callies, the Chris Bryants of the world, and all of you who are watching on replay as well. But if you're a nonprofit where the services that you're offering are not really open to people talking about being part of that, you need to ignore the 90-9-1% rule and just create with confidence. Tell your stories, trust in the value of what you're doing. And remember that more than 90% of the people that are going to be watching what you're doing are not going to be commenting and participating, even if you're a freaking, roller coaster park. Even if you have the most engaging, interesting, communicative content in the world, you're still going to have 9 out of 10 people not want to say anything. So just create with confidence, go forth and do it. Step 10, if you can, I want you to repurpose your content as quickly as possible. This is something that I personally need to get better with as well. So I'm trying to take my own advice here as we're talking through the best ways to use live streaming video during a giving day. I want you to repurpose your video as quickly as possible and prioritize doing that. What do I mean by that? I want you, when your live stream is over, it's going to ask you, do you want to download the full video? Right here, you can download your full content right out of Restream. If you're going live straight to Facebook, you can do the same thing. Just download it straight to your device. And then I want you to go into iMovie, or I want you to go into InShot. And I don't want you to think about how fancy it needs to be, right? We're not Chris Bryant here. We're not all fancy trying to get, create sizzle reels and all this stuff. I want you to find a 30 to 60 second clip of that video, and I want you to tweet it out. I want you to post it on Instagram. I want you to post it separately on your Facebook page as quickly as possible, and put in a link to the full live stream. And more importantly, put in a link to where people can go to donate during to your nonprofit during the giving day. Why? Because most people don't. I'm going to get hung for saying this, but most people don't want to sit and watch the entirety of a live stream. What I love the most about being a live streamer is that you can actually fill an hour or more with these golden nuggets throughout. And oftentimes the real key to success with live streaming, as Stephanie Liu will tell you, is to cut up your live stream and serve it in little pieces, right? Maybe people don't want to buy 8 cases of pizza, but they would love to have a slice, right? And think about how you use social media. Scroll, 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 scroll. When you see an hour-long live stream, are you likely to stop? Unless you're a fan of Chris Strub, and I greatly appreciate you. Tip of the hat to you. Probably not. But if you see a 30-second clip, sure. I know I spend a lot more time on Instagram stories than I do live streaming. But the beauty of a live stream is that you can fill it with these nuggets that you can dice up and you can serve out individually to people. And that is next level. And so I want you to prioritize that. Think about how you can either do it yourself or ask somebody who's savvy to do it for you. It might even be worth paying for it, because again, the real beauty of a live stream lies in these little moments that happen in real time that may be buried 49 minutes into the show. So don't be shy about repurposing, but also repurposing as quickly as you can. Don't worry about great quality. Don't worry about making it perfect in real time. Just find that 90 seconds, tweet it out, use the hashtag, and that's what's going to get you more attention to your live streams and, more importantly, to your nonprofits page for people to make a donation. Step 11, support the community and join other nonprofits live streams. So you do want to make time, of course, for you to create your own content. But one thing that we all love to see on a giving day is that collaborative community first perspective. So think about how you can use your Facebook page and go on and comment as your Facebook page, and go find 4, 5, 7, 10 other pieces of content. Could be live streams, could be non-live video, could be just images, right? This is the Gary V 2 cents, $1.80 strategy, right? Take some time during the giving day when you know that every single nonprofit out there is thirsty for that engagement. Either do it yourself or have someone do it for you, as acting as your nonprofit. And by showing that you're a supportive community member, people will want to come back and support you. Right? If you're able to do that during a giving day, again, I put these tips at the end because this is where you want to try and strive for. If you can pull this off, you're going to be light years ahead of everybody else in your giving day, right? But if you can support the community, you can find other nonprofits that are doing live video or that are posting their own stuff and really, striving for that support. A rising tide lifts all boats. So think about how you can use your voice, not just to tell your own story, but to support others. And when you do that, you'll find that people will come back and want to help and support you as well. Got time for a quick question here from Alex. Alex says, when you broadcast over Facebook and LinkedIn, will just the people who follow your page be able to watch, or will it show up on other people's feeds as well? Great question. You'll want to make sure that your settings, especially on a giving day, are set to public. Most of the tips that I'm giving here today are going to be for pages, for nonprofits that, of course, are going to be by default set to public. When we go back, and I think Alex said you might have missed some of the beginning, but I'm going to pull up an earlier tip here as well. But you want to plan several live streams throughout the course of the day. And then when you're doing that, you may want to try and include in other staff members or different influential community members, other nonprofits in the community or other chapters of your nonprofits. So the key with doing that is audience growth 101, right? Is trying to get those organizations or those people to share your content to their own pages, right? When you're live on Facebook or LinkedIn, you want to try and tag those people as well, whoever might be involved in your stream, and ask them to share it to their audiences. And that's how you would start building your own audience, right? Is you're basically providing valuable content to these people in exchange for that share. That's the whole model of the Giving Day Guy in general. Is I try and connect with as many different nonprofits as we can in hopes that they'll share out the content that we're creating, which will build a massive attention spike to the entire Giving Day. So the answer to your question is when people share it out, that's how it's going to start to show up on other people's news feeds as well. It's a great question. All right. And the last tip for you here, this might be the most important one of the whole day. Have fun. Have fun. See, we all get so tied up. We get so nervous when we turn on the camera, we turn on the microphone, right? We turn on the lights and say, oh, my little mic flag is off. There you go. Right? Have fun with what you're creating, right? You see, every week I shoot off the little party poppers and, 25% of the time it works, right? We got all the lights. We got the, I want to get a soundboard. We'll have sound effects. Like, I want you to exude the energy that you want people to feel when they're watching. And this isn't just a tip that applies to Giving Day, live streams during your 24 hours, but I want you to always have fun with what you're creating, right? Life's too short not to have fun, right? No matter what your goal is, I want you to be energetic, be bubbly. Watch any live stream by Owen Video or Stephanie Liu, Marissa Callie. All these folks have this great bubbly energy inside them that draws you to what they're doing. During a Giving Day, you have so many different opportunities to have fun with it, right? With all of the different prizes and everything that's celebratory about the community. There's so many different ways to have fun during your stream. So take advantage of it. Create video that people actually want to watch and be part of, and they'll come to you. Right? And this comment is what it's all about, right? Having fun turns you into being yourself. It shows and the audience digs it. So those are our, oh, I can't talk today. If you guys follow me on Facebook, I had oral surgery done the other day. Had some I had my face numbed. I'm going to have it done again on Thursday. By the way, next Monday's show is episode 12. I'm getting my second COVID shot on Sunday afternoon. And it's Moderna. So if I'm a little wobbly next Monday, just forewarning you, it's coming. So let's recap real quick. Today's main event, what your nonprofit should live stream on a Giving Day. Step 1, don't be shy. Plan on several live streams throughout the day. You can align your streams with the prize schedule from the day. Identify a series of different episodic stories to tell, and we ran through 10 different examples right there of how you can do that in the course of a 24-hour period. I want you to solicit pre-recorded videos from donors and or sponsors and use that, use your channel as a valuable opportunity that people can be part of. I want you to plan interesting visuals for your streams, both in real life and or virtually. I want you to pick the proper platforms that you can use Restream to multi-stream to Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Twitch, and or more than 25 other live stream channels. You can use social media, email, and other avenues to promote your live stream schedule. You can invite the media in and make your live stream strategy a big deal. Remember to ignore the 90-9-1 rule and speak with confidence. Create with confidence. Know that people are listening. The people that need to hear from you are listening. This is a common Chris Strubb-ism. If you can repurpose your content as quickly as possible, use that hashtag, the event hashtag on Twitter is a really, really great way. If you have a valuable little 30-second clip from a live stream that's happening in real time, and you post that on Twitter, that's going to take off. You can support the community and join other nonprofits' live streams. And most importantly, like I do every year in Louisville, I want you to have fun. Those are your 12 steps to creating a successful live stream strategy during your giving day. My name is Chris Strubb, the Giving Day Guy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you take some time to go back and rewatch the whole thing. You can also go back and rewatch my interviews with Neosha Franklin from St. Louis, Molly Melia from Louisville, and Kat Murphy-Toms, last week's episode. She is the Director of Digital Strategy for Giving Tuesday. If you enjoyed this, please take a minute and do one of the things here to your left. You can add me on LinkedIn. You can share to your Instagram story. You can subscribe on YouTube as well. And now it is time for my closing thoughts. Consistency is greater than frequency. Consistency is greater than frequency. So this is week 11, episode 11 of the Social Good Hour, powered by Restream. You guys know me by now. My name is Chris Strubb, the Giving Day Guy. I'm here in the Fly the W studio in downtown Greenville, South Carolina. And if you've heard me say that before, it's because I'm consistent with what I create. When you watch Chris Strubb on a live stream, you know one way or another what you're going to get. And I just want to take a minute here to express my very sincere gratitude to the team at Restream for allowing me the opportunity to create this Social Good Hour experiment for the last 11 weeks. I think we've done a really great job of bringing you some awesome guests. I hope you have enjoyed these conversations that we've had over the last 9 weeks as much as I have. In week 1 and here in week 11, we did something a little different and walked you through a series of slides like you saw today with what your nonprofit should live stream on a giving day. And I'm very, very curious to hear which format you liked better. I put a lot of effort into creating this format for you today. It's a lot more talking than I'm used to. Maybe that's why my tongue is getting a little tied, because I'm used to having a guest speaking 50% of the time. But it's important to remember that consistency is greater than frequency. I've tried to be very consistent in creating the show for you every Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And it is my very sincere hope that we have the opportunity to continue on with the show. Some of you guys may have seen the party poppers throughout the course of the last 11 weeks. Well, here's the simple fact. I bought a pack of 24 party poppers. There's the rest of the box. And as of right now, next week is the finale episode of the Social Good Hour. I am very, very hopeful that we get a chance to continue this conversation and we get a chance to continue to be part of, hopeful that I get to continue to be a chance to be part of your Monday every week. And I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to create better content for you. I'm trying to bring you ideas and videos that you're interested in. I'll even try and be wacky next Monday after shot number 2. But just remember that consistency is greater than frequency. And I encourage you guys to continue to create, continue to push forward, to do the best that you can. For me, building an audience and developing a successful live stream strategy has been much more than an 11-week experiment. This has been a 6-year experiment for me. And I'm very, very hopeful for the opportunity to continue to try and consistently bring you great content on a weekly basis. So signing off for now, it's Chris Drubb, the Giving Day Guy. I really appreciate everybody being here. Just a reminder, if you're interested in the gear that I use to create the show, you can go to strubstuff.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Drubb. You can go to givingdayguy.com to learn more about what I do with Giving Days. And I'm going to put in the comments one more time. You've watched all the way to the end. All I ask of you today is that you go to restream.teamstrub.com to sign up for your free trial. It would mean the world to me, and it may help us keep the show going beyond next week. But for now, signing off, it's Chris Drubb. I'll be back here next Monday with a show topic to be determined. We will find out if it's the celebratory final show or if it is the last show of season 1, and we'll look forward to a new and improved season 2 coming up shortly thereafter. So I'll see you guys next week. Thanks everybody for watching, and be safe. Happy Easter. Go Cubs, go. See you later.